Welcome students, welcome to Ravi Shankar classes, and this is Ravi Shankar. So this is the first class in order to deal with unit 1. What is that unit 1 in your lesson or in your book? The first lesson or the unit 1 is considered to be nature of physical world and measurements. We are going to study about nature of physical world and measurement. See, let us separate this topic into two. Nature of physical world. This is not physics, this is a common topic. And the physics involves right from here, measurement. So, let us have a small introduction regarding the nature of physical world, but it is your part that you have to learn it out. That is up to page number 6 in your book. You completely go through your book and understand the concept. There is nothing to explain more about that. Some common factors that are being given regarding physics. Okay, now let us start with that physics. What is physics? Already I have given a bridge course, and in that bridge course I have explained what is science, how the science can be divided into two, that is physical science and biological science, etc. etc. So go through that again. Now let us start with the physics. In physical chemistry, which contains both physics and chemistry, I am dealing with the topic called to be physics. See, from which word the physics has been derived, you know? See, physics is a word. So let us write like this. The word physics is derived from a Greek word. Most of the physics words are considered to be Latin and Greek. Here the word physics itself is being derived from a Greek word, physis, from a Greek word, and that Greek word is considered to be physis. From physis, we can able to get this physics. What do you mean by this physis? Physis means nature. Physis means nature. So regarding the study about nature, we are calling it out as physics. That is what it is given as nature of physical world. So here, physis means nature. So the study about the nature as well as the natural phenomena is dealt with physics. So we can state like this, studying about nature and natural phenomena. Nature and natural phenomena. Then we are considering the studying about the nature and the natural phenomena is dealt with what, or is dealt in physics. Okay. So physics is a subject of studying nature. Then in general we can say physics forms the basis for all sciences. So again we can also say physics forms the basic or basis for all sciences. All sciences. Okay. Then, is there anything more? We can say physics is a study regarding accurate measurements. Like that, there are so many definitions for physics. So let us restrict ourselves. So the word physics derived from the Greek word called to be physis. Physis means nature. So studying about the nature and the natural phenomena is dealt in physics, and physics forms the basis for all sciences. See, when you are studying physics, we are having two approaches in order to study physics. So let us consider like this. There are two approaches, two methods, two approaches in studying physics. In or for studying physics. What are the two approaches or what are the two methods in studying physics? One, I am considering it as unification, and another one I am saying it as reductionism. So there are two approaches, and the two approaches are divided as, are considered as, one taken to be unification. Unification, the name itself is self-explanatory. Attempt to derive by unifying or uniting more number of concepts. Another one, reductionism. Reductionism is from bigger to smaller, macroscopic element to microscopic element. That we are calling it out as reductionism. Reductionism. So this we are calling it out as the two concepts or two approaches called as unification and reductionism. So let us consider the first one. What do you mean by this unification? The name itself is self-explanatory, unified, united. That is, we have to explain different formulas or different diverse physical phenomena with few concepts and laws which are being united. That we are calling it out as unification. So let us define like this. Unification means attempting to explain diverse physical phenomena. Diverse means different, having different ideas like that. Diverse physical phenomena. Diverse physical phenomena. Phenomena means factors. Phenomena with unification means with the few concepts and laws. With the few concepts, not with the single concept, with the few concepts which are being unified. Few concepts and laws. That we are calling it out as unification. Similarly, what is reductionism? If you want to say about reductionism, similarly I can write attempting. See here, we are going to separate, or we are going to reduce a macroscopic system, a bigger system, into microscopic system. So we can write like this: attempting to explain a macroscopic system. Macroscopic and microscopic. Macroscopic means a bigger one. So macroscopic system in terms of its microscopic system. Microscopic system or microscopic constituents. Constituent means the particles which are inside that system. So we are having two things. One is unification and another one is reductionism. Unification, attempting to explain the diverse physical phenomena with few concepts and laws. And reductionism, attempting to explain a macroscopic system into or in terms of microscopic constituents. That we are taking or calling it out as the two systems. First of all, let us consider an example for unification. Let us separate this into two. So let us consider an example for unification. Have you heard about the universal law of gravitation? See, when you are considering the universal law of gravitation, we can say that the force between any two bodies is directly proportional to mass of the product of the mass and inversely proportional to the distance between the two bodies. That is called to be universal law of gravitation. But this universal law of gravitation has been derived by uniting or by studying the motion of freely falling bodies, by studying the motion of planets, by studying the motion of moon. So by unifying the fundamental forces in nature, Newton's universal law of gravitation has been explained. So example, first of all, let us consider a formula. That law or that formula is Newton's universal law of gravitation. See, using this universal law of gravitation, one can find the force. The force between two bodies is directly proportional to product of the mass and inversely proportional to square of the distance between the two bodies. That is the universal law. See, Newton derived this universal law not by a single concept. See, he explained this universal law of gravitation by considering. So, let us write, this universal law of gravitation is explained by considering. So what are the factors that were being considered? By considering the motion of freely falling body, then motion of planets, studying about the motion of planets, and motion of moon, etc. See, all these concepts, that is universal law of gravitation, is being explained by considering the motion of freely falling bodies, then motion of planets, motion of moon, by considering or by unifying the fundamental forces, unifying the fundamentals, or we can say fundamental forces in nature. So all these are considered to be which one? The motion of a freely falling body, motion of the planet, motion of the moon, all are considered to be fundamental forces in nature. By unifying these fundamental forces in nature, he can able to explain what? He can able to explain the Newton's universal law of gravitation. Similarly, what is the next concept that I have to explain to you? Reductionism. What I have already told about reductionism? Reductionism is an attempt to explain the macroscopic system into microscopic system. Here also, let us consider an example to explain this. What example I can get? See, you might have studied about a concept called to be thermodynamics. Have you heard about this term? Thermodynamics. Where you can able to study about the heat engines, or regarding the temperature, heat, energy, entropy, like that. See, this thermodynamics, the name itself you see, thermo, then dynamics. Thermo, it represents heat. Dynamics, studying about the motion of the body. So, we can say heat and motion. This thermodynamics is a macroscopic system. By developing this or by studying this thermodynamic, we can able to explain the phenomenons like the smaller phenomenons, like the internal phenomenons or constituents, how heat energy can be produced with the help of temperature, how energy can be done, how heat energy can be absorbed or released. Let us consider that as entropy. So, the thermodynamic system அப்படினு சொல்றது, it is a macroscopic system which can be divided into so many microscopic constituents like heat, energy, then entropy, etc. So let us write like this. Thermodynamics can be used to explain macroscopic properties. So from this macroscopic properties, what are the properties that we can explain? See, this thermodynamics is used to explain the microscopic elements like temperature, then we can say entropy, etc. See, these properties have been interpreted in terms of molecular constituents. See, these properties like temperature, entropies can be explained with the help of atomic or with the help of molecular constituents. See, these are macroscopic. From thermodynamics, we can able to explain temperature and entropy. If you want to explain temperature and entropy, we can consider what? We can consider still microscopic system that we are calling it out as molecular constituents. This we are taking it as or considering it as reductionism. So, in order to study physics, we have to consider what? We have to consider two factors. One is unification and another one is reductionism. Unification is a process where simple laws and concepts combined to explain a complicated problem or a complicated concept, that we are calling it out as unification. Then reductionism is an attempt to explain the macroscopic system in terms of its microscopic constituents. Okay, then the next one. See, when you are considering physics, there are different branches in physics. Here one branch I have called it to be thermodynamics. So like that we are having different branches in physics. Let us consider about that branches in physics. Let us consider about the branches in what? The branches in physics. What are the different branches in physics? So in general, I am considering it as physics. How this physics can be broadly classified into two. Initially, physics can be broadly classified into two. What are the two classifications? One of the classification, we are calling it out as classical physics. And another one, we can consider it as modern physics. So, this classical physics and this modern physics. Modern physics is dealing with the particles nature, particles like electron, proton, like that. Classical physics deals with some of the oldest topics like mechanics, thermodynamics, optics, electricity, basic concepts. Let us consider again. When you are taking this classical physics can be again divided into what? Again divided into two. How I can divide this classical physics into two? One, I am considering it as statics, studying about the rest position of a body. And another one, I can consider it as dynamics. What do you mean by this? Statics, studying about the rest position. Dynamics, studying about the motion. When you are considering about the dynamics can be again classified into two. What are the two concepts dynamics can be studied, you know? See, when you are considering dynamics can be classified into two as kinetics and kinematics. I can consider it as kinetics and another one called to be kinematics. In order to study about the motion, we have to apply a force. We can study the motion of the body with force or without considering the force. If you are considering with force, it is kinematics, and without force, it is called to be kinetics. Then, let us go for again the classical mechanics. See, in this classical mechanics, which part is divided into statics and dynamics? See, in classical part, we are having the part called to be classical mechanics. This classical mechanics is divided into statics, dynamics, and this dynamics again classified into kinetics and kinematics. Let us consider how this classical physics, let us take like this. This is classical physics and this is modern physics. So in that classical physics, the first point is mechanics, which is divided like this. What is the second concept that I have to deal? The second concept that I have to deal is considered to be what I have told now, thermodynamics. What do you mean by this thermodynamics? Studying about the motion of the atoms, molecules, etc. due to rise in temperature. So due to rise in temperature, there is a heat energy. So regarding heat, we are calling it out as thermo and motion dynamics. And usually the topic thermodynamics comes along with what? Comes along with the kinetic theory of gases. Kinetic theory of gases. What do you mean by this kinetic theory of gases? See, kinetics means it is motion. Kinetic energy. Energy possessed by the body due to its motion. See, when you are having gas is a matter which is not having a definite shape and definite volume. That gases are having innumerable number of atoms and molecules which are freely moving. When they are in motion, we are saying it as kinetic. So how they are moving, whether they are moving in random motion or whether they are moving in a particular direction, like that, studying about that nature of the motion of the atoms and molecules inside the gas, we are calling it out as the kinetic theory of gases. So thermodynamics and kinetic theory of gases combined together, taken to be a single topic. Then after that, let us next one to thermodynamics. Let us consider about optics. What do you mean by this optics? Optics is nothing but studying about light. Studying about light is called to be optics. Then the next one we can say it out as electricity and magnetism. Electricity and magnetism. See, initially till 1600 AD, electricity and magnetism are considered to be two separate topics. Electricity is a single topic and magnetism is another single topic. But it was a scientist called to be Oersted who found or who produced that the electricity and the magnetism are interrelated. So it was being taken as a single topic. Then after that, we have to go for two more. One is sound. Another one is astrophysics, astronomy. And one more thing is available which can also be added to modern physics, but it was being given in your book as classical physics, called to be relativity. Okay, still what are the three that we have to see? We have studied about sound, isn't it? Usually we are not saying it as sound. Here we are, in terms of physics, we are saying it as acoustics. Okay. Then the next one, we can say it out as astrophysics. In olden days, this astrophysics is called to be astronomy. And the next one, we have to take it out as relativity. Actually, this relativity is a modern topic, modern physics. Under modern physics only, this relativity will come. But in your book, it was being dealt in classical physics. So, it is relativity found out by a theory, a famous theory which was being found out by Newton. Okay, sorry, not by Newton, by Einstein, sorry. So the next one, what are the modern physics? What are the different parts of the modern physics? See, let us consider what are the different subdivisions of modern physics. We are having 6 topics, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So what are the 6? Number 1, it is called to be quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics. Particle physics. These are called to be particle physics. Quantum mechanics. See, quantum means a small energized particle which is having no mass but having energy. Then this quantum mechanics otherwise or can be separated into 2. What are the 2 parts of quantum mechanics? One is relativistic, another one is non-relativistic. One we are stating it out as relativistic, and another one it is called to be non-relativistic. One is relativistic and another one we are stating it out as non-relativistic. Okay. Then in higher classes, you will be studying about the quantum mechanics. In your 12th standard, you are having a single topic called to be nature of the particle physics. There we will deal with this. Then the next one, atomic physics. One of the oldest topic, but stating about atoms, electron, proton, neutron, different atom models, etc. Atomic physics. From atomic physics, we have to go with the nuclear physics, because inside the atom, at the center of the atom, you are having a positively charged particle called to be nucleus. Studying about the nucleus, we are calling it out as the nuclear physics. Under this only, we are studying about the nuclear bomb, hydrogen bomb, then atom bomb, etc. A nuclear reactor, you are having a nuclear reactor nearby us, isn't it, in Kudangulam? So regarding all that, we are studying in nuclear physics. Then after nuclear physics, we have to study about the molecules of the body. That we are calling it out as molecular physics. Considering it as molecular physics. Then molecular physics, after that again particle physics, what we are calling it out as high energy particle physics, or we can say high energy physics. Have you heard about a particle called to be boson? God's particle. Okay, then modern topic. Then the next one we are to consider as condensed matter physics. Condensed matter physics. So beyond this also we are having so many modern topics called to be electronics, nanoscience, etc. So but in your book they have dealt with this called to be the branches of physics. You can consider like this. When you are taking physics, it can be broadly classified into two as classical physics and modern physics. In classical physics, the first topic is mechanics, which is divided into statics and dynamics, where dynamics further divided into kinetics and kinematics. And then the classical mechanics is divided as thermodynamics and kinetic theory of gases, optics, electricity and magnetism, acoustics, astrophysics and relativity. Similarly, when you are considering the modern physics, under the modern physics, we can say first the quantum mechanics, which is further divided into relativistic theory and non-relativistic theories. Then the next one is atomic physics, studying about the atoms, atom models, etc. Discovery of electrons, charge of the electron, mass of the electron, specific charge of the electron, all come under this topic called to be atomic physics. And the nuclear physics, studying about the nucleus of the atom. Then molecular physics regarding the molecules. Then high energy particle physics and condensed matter physics. So these are some of the introduction that was being available in your book. And beyond this, in your book, they have given a topic called to be scope and excitement. Scope and excitement in physics. What are the scope in physics and what are the excitement in physics? See, we can relate. So we can relate our relation to technology. Relation to technology and society. See how physics is helping to technology and also to society. See, this topic is left for studying by yourself. You take your book in page number 4, I think so. Is in page number 5, 1.22. You are having this heading called to be scope and excitement in physics. You go through that things that are being given. It won't be asked for your examination. But how interesting, how much the physics is interesting to study. What are the different scopes available in this universe are being given like an English essay. Similarly, how that physics is related to technology, and that technology, how it is used to society, all that are being given. And it is for you to go through it and to understand it. If you are having any difficulty, you just ask me, I will explain it. Then the next topic that I have to deal with, the real chapter that we are entering into the first unit called to be the measurement. That we shall deal it in our next video. Thank you.